Calgary Midnapore.
The finance minister continues to try to convince Canadians that all is well with the economy. But what she doesn't seem to understand is that the majority of Canadians just don't see it that way. What they do see is that their family can't afford the same groceries that they used to, and that they will try and squeak in just one more trip back and forth to pick up the kids from school before having to buy another tank of gas. Canadians are facing a cost of living crisis. When will the finance minister take this inflation crisis seriously and provide solutions?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
You know what's driving up the cost of living this week? The cost of groceries, the cost of parts for manufacturers? The blockades that the Conservative Party continues to support at the Coots border crossing, at the Ambassador Bridge in Windsor, and even in downtown Ottawa. Canadians have struggled for 2 years because of this pandemic in so many different ways and have stepped up and made sacrifices, and we've been there to have their backs. Why, right now, does the Conservative Party not have Canadians' backs and instead choose to support those who are blockading their neighbours and our economy?
The Honourable Member for New Brunswick Southwest.
Mr. Speaker, it's been 6 years and these Liberals have failed to make life better for Canadians. They've delivered the largest cost and price increases we've seen in Canada in 30 years. Plus, Ottawa's anti-Canadian energy policies have only added to the pain in the Canadian economy. The rising price of energy sets the prices for virtually everything else in the Canadian economy. Why is the Prime Minister making victims of seniors, working families and small businesses?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, small businesses in downtown Ottawa are struggling for the past 2 weeks because Conservatives are supporting the people who are blockading them. Businesses in Windsor are suffering because goods can't get across the Ambassador Bridge because Conservative Party supporters are being encouraged to continue their blockades. In Alberta, groceries are getting more expensive because the Coots border crossing is blocked and the Conservative Party will not condemn or ask those protesters to go home.
Député de Lévis-Lotbinière.
The Honourable Member for Lévis-Lotbinière. Mr. Speaker, in Quebec, gas is now costing over $1.60 per litre. That's unprecedented. This inflation will have repercussions on everything that is transported in Canada. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister seems to not know what is going on. What will the Prime Minister do to help low-income families? Given this increase in the prices of everything that people eat and use in their everyday lives. The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, the global inflation crisis is due to COVID-19. Disruptions in our supply chains are due to COVID-19. And also partially due to the barricade supported by the Conservatives. We will continue to fight COVID-19 with vaccination, with public health measures to ensure that soon Canadians can get back to what they enjoy the most. Being together, being with their loved ones, that is what we are working hard to reach.
Kootenay, Columbia.
Mr. Speaker, gasoline is up 34%, housing is up almost 27%, sugar is up 20%, and Canadian bacon is up 17%. Inflation has increased 2 times faster than the wages of those working in my riding of Kootenay, Columbia. Families in Canada are being stretched too far. When will the Prime Minister get off his MacBook at his cottage and fix skyrocketing home prices, supply chain shortages, and the cost of living crisis?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we recognize that we are in a global inflation crisis right now because of COVID-19, and the best way to get through that is to end this COVID-19 pandemic. Unfortunately, you can't end it with legislation. You can't end it with barricades. You need to end it with science, and that means vaccination. So if the Conservative Party is truly concerned about our supply chains, about the cost of living for Canadians, they should tell their supporters in Coutts and in Windsor to stand down those barricades and let the goods flow to Canadians.
L'honorable député de